At this hour, the U.S. Senate is working to pass a massive stimulus package in order to avoid what could be an economic disaster thanks to the coronavirus pandemic here. Cheddar's own Pratz spoke with Senator Kevin Cramer about the latest developments. Take a look.
Yesterday, the bill failed to pass. Senate Democrats didn't deliver the votes that were needed to move it out of cloture. What's next? What are you hoping to see today?
Well, first of all, Senate Democrats didn't deliver a single vote. They unanimously opposed a package that would get much needed aid to everyone who needs it. Workers, employers, little employers, big employers, mid-sized employers, the market in general, healthcare, infrastructure, Veterans Affairs, and Native Americans. I mean, there's so much in this bill that's good for America. To hold it up for another day is really dereliction of duty on their part. What's next is hopefully negotiations are continuing. We're going to go vote here shortly. Hopefully we can reconsider the package and get the ball rolling. I think what's really important to understand about this, though, is that Democrats didn't vote against the bill. They voted against going to the next step and discussing the bill and debating the bill and before a final vote. So they didn't even seem to want to negotiate the bill. It's very peculiar. And the unfortunate thing is this, and to put a finer point on it, what's next? I think what's next is we have to get Speaker Pelosi out of the Senate. She wasn't elected to the Senate. She wasn't elected by any senators. Be our leader. She needs to go over and take care of her chamber and let the negotiations member to member begin again and get to where we were Sunday night, which was a very good place. And then when we pass the bill, send it over to the House, and then she can deal with it. That's appropriate. We had a good thing going until she got to town Monday morning and blew it all up.
Well, she has said that this bill doesn't protect workers in its first writing. How can you reassure the American people that it does?
Well, it does because it puts a lot of money directly into the unemployment insurance program, which allows workers who are laid off to continue to get not just part of their salary, but their whole salary. And better than that, it also provides a whole bunch of money to employers from 500 employees down so that they can continue to pay their employees at full salary, full benefits, pay their rent, pay the mortgages, pay the utilities, so that the company, the businesses can stay in business and stay connected to their workers. And so, and then for those that fall between the cracks, there's a lot of other stuff, like for healthcare, for example, more money for Medicaid, greater reimbursement for Medicare, some direct payments to healthcare facilities so that they're able to serve their communities. So to me, first of all, she's wrong. Second of all, this is already $1.6 trillion. Can we do some more? I suppose we're going to have to try to get some Democratic votes. But it's really unfortunate because we need the money to get there now, not to get there a week from now.
Obviously, this is an unprecedented situation we're in right now where there is a need for a large influx of federal government dollars, which is normally something the Republican Party is less inclined to do. So talk to me a little bit about how we can pay for this type of stimulus and what that looks like moving forward.
So it's a great question because there are a lot of us concerned about that. The problem is that the concern for debt and deficit right now is far, under, in the background compared to the emergency before us. However, it's not too soon to start talking about how in the recovery phase we get to some fiscal discipline to make up for this. The good news is in this package, while you're right, there's a lot of either loans that will be forgiven or direct influx of benefits that are appropriate. But there's also a lot of money in the economy at large. For example, $425 billion that goes to Treasury that is then used to leverage maybe $2 or $3 trillion other dollars from the Federal Reserve through widely available credit facilities. What that does is that keeps people employed. It also keeps their 401ks at least stable. It provides confidence into the market again. And the best thing we can do for not just the economy, but for the spending problem is to get the economy back on track. And we will never be able to deal with the debt and deficit if we don't get our economy going again.
Okay, North Dakota specific question.
Yep.
Big oil state up there.
It is.
You've been pretty insulated from some of the swings of the economy in the past.
We have.
How are you expecting this to impact your state?
It will affect our state in a very negative way.
Especially with oil prices
going
down.
The honest truth of the matter is, with demand down because of the coronavirus, and it's down considerably globally. On top of that, our friends in Saudi Arabia are having a price war with our adversaries in Russia, driving the price down probably another $20 more per barrel, which is well below profit level. So we're seeing massive layoffs in North Dakota and other places. It's going to be devastating to our economy. And the tragedy of that is our good friends in Saudi Arabia, who we put 2,500 troops, where we put 2,500 troops to protect their oil assets and all kinds of missile defense systems and other support and assets. They're taking advantage of our vulnerability through this global crisis to drive down the prices and kill our industry. And we have to stand up to that, and we need to use every tool that we have. And I've been urging the president to do exactly that. It's time for diplomacy to be over and hardball. If it's diplomacy, it's got to be hardball diplomacy.
Last question. First senator confirmed to have COVID-19, Republican Rand Paul from Kentucky, and we have 2 members of the House so far confirmed. Are you concerned about the Capitol Hill spread and it affecting the ability to get work done here that needs to happen for the American people?
Yes, and we need to lead by example, and part of the example is to show we're working. I understand that. But we also have to show that we're working smart. It is time to use the technology available so that we can vote remotely while staying connected. And everybody else is doing that. We as the United States Senate and as the United States House need to exercise that same responsibility and let the country see us doing it.